Hey, how's it going? This is Chris Camilio recording from Nashville, Tennessee, with This Week in PT School I Learned. This is the first installment of my video series that I will be recording every week to basically summarize what I learned in PT school this week. Hopefully, I provide important nuggets that current practicing physical therapists who haven't been in school as much recently and current physical therapy students can learn from and benefit from. And it also helps provide me with a platform to share this information I've learned, continue to work on my communicative skills, and review some of the things that I've learned this past week. So my goal is for this to be a mutually beneficial experience, and I really hope it helps. This is the first one, so spoiler alert, there's going to be some progress to be made. My goal is to record each of these in 5 minutes or less because I respect your time, and as people say, brevity is the soul of wit. So here we go. This week in PT school I learned that I am not the most special person in my cohort, not by a long shot. Doesn't mean I'm not special, just means there are some really great people that I have the privilege of being alongside, and it's been a very humbling process this week. A lot of people that bring a lot of different things to the table, and I'm really stoked to learn from them. But it is a process, kind of going from a place where you might be very good at one thing that you're doing, and being able to recognize that and still be good at that, but then step aside when somebody might have more expertise, and being able to learn is also a very important skill to have. Here's some other things I learned in PT school this week. Skin keeps water in, so people that have burn injuries, they can tend to get very dehydrated. Also at risk for infection because skin basically protects what's going on underneath. Fascia is really stiff, and deep fascia is really hard to get to. So you're probably not hitting your deep fascia with a foam roller. Put it that way. I've also learned that attachment sites are different person to person. That's one thing I'm very appreciative of in the cadaver anatomy lab. On our cadaver, the Latissimus Dorsi, we saw a pretty big insertion point at the inferior angle of the scapula. So you know the Latissimus Dorsi can depress and downward rotate the scapula, and there are certain individuals that have this attachment site on the scapula, and others may not. So something to kind of keep in mind. This week in PT school, I also learned that the pectoralis minor can be implicated in certain nerve issues. So the pectoralis minor runs superficial to the brachial plexus. So a bunch of nerves that kind of run through the arm that way. And the pectoralis minor, it attaches at the coracoid process of the scapula, also where the biceps tendon inserts, as well as the ribs, basically ribs 3, 4, and 5. So what your pectoralis minor does is it will bring your shoulder blade that way. It will internally rotate your scapula, and it will downwardly rotate the scapula, kind of like that. And so if your pectoralis minor is very stiff, that will basically pull on your nerves in your brachial plexus, and that can cause some issues. Which issues? I don't know yet. More to follow on that. I also learned that if a muscle attaches to a spinous process of a vertebra, for example, the Latissimus Dorsi attaches to the spinous process, which is on the dorsal end, basically the backside of your vertebra. Latissimus Dorsi will attach at the spinous process. The Trapezius will also attach at the spinous process. So if it attaches at the spinous process, that will cause contralateral rotation. So we'll say this is my right middle, say my right middle trapezius. That will bring this point this way and cause contralateral rotation. All right, this is the front of that vertebra. It'll cause my spine to rotate the opposite direction at that segment. Whereas if a muscle attaches to the transverse process of the vertebra, that means that will cause ipsilateral rotation. All right, so we'll basically kind of pull it that direction. All right, so spinous process attachment, contralateral rotation. transverse process attachment, ipsilateral rotation. So thank you for watching This Week in PT School I Learned. My name is Chris Camilio. Please follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. I have a Facebook page too. Feel free to hit me up there. The reason for that being, I want to hear from you. I want to hear what questions you have for me, what questions I might be able to ask professors, because chances are, if you have a question, that question is plaguing you. If I don't have the answer for it, I want to find somebody who does, because I probably want to know that too. As well too, if there's anything that I said that you don't agree with, please call me on it. I want to get to the bottom of it. So I really appreciate getting to know a lot of people out there that are going through these same processes. Shout out to everyone in PT school right now. Again, shout out to my classmates. A lot of respect and love and appreciation already in this first week. I think this first episode, I'm going to try and edit it down, but I think it's probably going to run longer than 5 minutes, so sorry about that, but I'm continuing to make that better and kind of hone that, so thanks for being there, thanks for listening, look forward to figuring out what I learned next week. All right, take care, be well, Chris Camilio, peace.